Yikes, Mzansi. Hey, Mzansi. Hello and welcome to Entertainment News, Mzansi. If you're new to my channel, you know here for the stories. Go ahead, click the subscribe button and, of course, the bell, and you'll never miss an update. Following the Forbes family excusing Don Design to having a hand in the murder of Keenan aka Forbes. However, new alleged video evidence with commentary that implicates Don Design has resurfaced and is swirling around on social media. Now, alleged evidence has come to light from a fan who's alleging that Don Design was involved in the whole shoot. Although a number of footages from different CCTV cameras are swirling around across all over social media platforms, and social media detectives as well as court of the public opinions making their deductions over what really transpired the day aka was mercilessly murdered. New CCTV footage with commentary from Yola Miduba on Twitter gives clarity that suggests that Don Design was allegedly involved in the shooting of aka. Now, she says there were actually 5 hitmen surrounding aka that day. I point them out. The first few minutes of the video is actually a repetition of what was said. The fake pee, the fake stretch, every thing will make sense when I mention the 5 hitmen, wrote Yola Miduba.
I do not have a good voice, but I'll try my best. So I did say I'll prove that Don Design was involved in the killing of aka. The only way I'll prove that is through the CCTV footage. I don't know them personally. I've never met them. I was just a fan. So I'll only be using the footage to prove this whole shandies. So in order for you to understand this whole thing, let us look at this side first. Now look at Don tilting his head to talk to the second shooter. They talk for like 2 seconds and then they get disturbed by the people coming out of the club. After they get disturbed, he starts to fake pee. He's not urinating, guys. That is a fake action. He had to take that action because he cannot be seen talking to this guy. And that fake pee only lasted for like 5 seconds. These people were having drinks. It should have been long. Plus, don't you guys like shake your shandies after urinating? Now please watch this whole thing because it will make sense at the end when I connect the dots. Now guys, look at the second shooter's body language. His whole body is faced towards Don. But the minute they get disturbed, his whole body turns into hiding mode. He turns the direction he's looking at. The minute the crew comes out, the minute they get disturbed, he turns. It's like Don was saying, here they come, here they come. And then that's when he changes his body. So if the guy was just a stranger to Don, why do they both stop talking when the rest of the crew comes out? And Don was the one to stop talking first. And he was looking at the crew with the corner of his eye.
Mzansi Miduba alleged there were 5 hitmen that actually murdered aka. 2 shooters were standing outside. Meanwhile, the other 3 were in a getaway car right on the street. As soon as aka was shot, the getaway car took off, same time to rescue the other 2 shooters who has already disappeared in thin air. Now, she says, before I show you the 5 hitmen, let us talk about this fake stretch that Don did. Let's talk about this fake stretch, guys. When somebody stretches, their feet usually lifted up by that stretch. See, there's none of that here. You can't stretch and your feet don't stretch. Before he starts to stretch, he's holding onto it, waiting for the perfect moment to send out that signal. And when he stops to send that signal, it starts at the bottom up. He is even walking while he is stretching. And how difficult is it to walk while stretching? Her video commentary continues. Now the moment we've been waiting for. Don Design is the first person to leave the club to give signals to 5 men. Yes, 5 men, guys. Now the first guy is, of course, identified as the first shooter, the guy who actually shot aka. That is our first guy. The second shooter is right here, crossing and taking his position, and we don't know when his friend gave the signal because we don't have the full footage. Her video commentary continues.
And when he starts to send that signal, it starts at the bottom up. He's even walking while he's stretching. Guys, do you know how difficult it is to walk while stretching? And when we stretch, guys, we look like ducks and penguins. He looks so straight and composed. Now, the moment we've been waiting for. The video starts here now. Dawn Design is the first person to leave the club to give signal to 5 men. Yes, 5 men, guys. Now, the first guy is, of course, identified as the first shooter. The guy who actually shot AKA. That is our first guy. The second shooter is right here, crossing and taking his position. We don't know when he sent him that signal, because we don't have a full footage. The footage starts halfway. But this is our second guy, guys. Now, our number 3, 4, and 5 are using this getaway car. Remember, I showed you 2 guys getting into a car. There are actually 3. 2 are in black and 1 is wearing a white top or hoodie.
She continues to say, now our number 3, 4, and 5 are using this getaway car. Remember, I showed you 2 guys getting into a car. They're actually 3. 2 are in black and the other one is in a white top or hoodie. They were standing on the road, and as soon as our Dawn starts to signal, they take their positions, and the position is inside the getaway car. Now, I'm calling it a getaway car because they will use it to fetch the 2 gunmen. Dawn signals to everyone for everyone to take their positions. Dawn looks around to check if the coast is clear, and yes, it's clear, and no one is coming. He then proceeds to go straight to the shooter number 2. They exchanged a few words until they get disturbed, and that's when he starts to fake pee. The video commentary continues. So now everyone is waiting for shooter number to do his job, but we don't know when that will happen because Tibbs must move so that AKA is alone. Now, no one knows what to do, and that is why everyone is all over the place, but it finally happens. AKA gets shot, and now that's when the getaway car moves to fetch those 2 shooters before they get caught. You can see the car starts to move after AKA gets shot. And why were these 2 cars blocking the way, she says.
And now that's when the getaway car can move to fetch those 2 shooters before they get caught. You can see the car starts to move after AKA gets shot. And why were these 2 cars blocking the way? So guys, we don't know what happens next because this is where the CCTV footage ends. But that day, there was no way AKA was going to survive. I only see 5 men. There could be more. There could be more.
Now, Mzansi, little is known about this case. All we know at this point is that AKA was just shot after having his last embrace, which was a hug to his also late friend who was shot in the same night, Tebello Tibbs Motsuane. Now, the police, however, are saying that they are still investigating and they will only reveal what has transpired after their investigation has been completed. Now, there you have it. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. You know I love to hear from you. But for now, you know I will bring you the updates hot, just the way you like it.